Hello again, everybody, and I'm back with another video recovering a topic I made a video on a while back, but this time from a different perspective, as new information has come to my attention. I realized the video I made back then wasn't entirely fair or good, but I'm here to correct myself, as well as give my thoughts on certain aspects of the art commentary community at the end of the videos. Alright, so quick editor's note here. I am aware that Peaches literally just released a video addressing all this, and I do want to make it clear that I did not just immediately slap this video together to try and save my own ass. I had been making this for about a week now, but I had to pause production for a while considering I had to catch up on a lot of work, and it's just really bad timing that I finally got the chance to finish it now. So I just want to make it clear that I always intended to make this video. I wouldn't have not made it if she didn't address it. So yeah, let's just get actually into the video this time. Alright, so I'll be starting off with correcting things that I said in my old video. Firstly, the claim that she had suicide baited in the whole thing with prison mate Luke. Honestly, since the time I made that video, my respect for Luke has greatly fallen, especially since the whole Lexit drama that he got into with Harley TBS and to an extent Just Stop. If you don't know what happened there, I won't drag it out because it's mostly irrelevant to the current topic, but he did try to push the claim that two 16-year-olds made a victim of sexual assault suicidal, which is fucking insane if you ask me, because, putting that kind of stuff on teenagers, they're minors, and it's just kind of cringe for an adult to do that. But either way, that thing happened and it wasn't great, so it was on me that I just kind of went along with what everyone else said without actually thinking about it myself. I fully admit that was a pretty cringe move on my part, and I was also way too harsh on my points regarding her quote-unquote suicide baiting tweet, as I said that she should have been more in-depth with an apology regarding the previous tweet, when in reality just apologizing plainly is perfectly fine, especially considering that she likely wasn't doing so great at the time, and it's not like she didn't address it at all. I also have no idea why the fact that Peaches, during the time of writing this tweet and going offline, was also likely incredibly just mentally unwell, just completely flew over my dumb little head, and I was talking about it under the assumption that it was baiting and not a genuine issue. That was also very stupid of me, and I honestly don't have an explanation for why I just didn't consider that, which is totally my bad, and I'll definitely handle situations like this differently going forward. The comment that I showed in my previous video, the one of her saying people are attacking me because I didn't die, was also misinterpreted in Luke's video, and looking at it differently, it was kind of poorly worded, but considering the amount of completely over-the-top and unnecessary hate she got from the suicide tweet, she meant that as if, if she had actually passed away, she wouldn't be getting this much backlash, and really seeing some of the stuff that people have thrown at her, I can totally get where she's coming from there, because honestly, it's just disgusting. I also completely disagree with the sentiment that this tweet was suicide baiting in the first place, as this implies that she was only doing it for attention, which she wasn't, genuinely has depression, and that was a rough period that she went through, and I am really sorry that I did not give her the benefit of the doubt in my original video. And for the Creepshow art claims, a lot of the things she said didn't have any screenshots backing them up, and again, I just fucking went with it for some reason, and it was totally wrong of me to call her a liar based off of a she said type of deal with little to nothing to back up the opposing claim. And I will admit, I can tend to be too trusting of people with larger platforms to a fault, and I am starting to look at situations more critically now. Circling back to the Creepshow thing, I can understand Peaches wanting to vent to other people about, well, another person, and while it is, technically talking behind someone's back and it's not the nicest thing to do, the way it was hyped up by the community as a whole just blew it way out of proportion. It wasn't a huge issue that she needed to fucking get, shunned for. It was also not mentioned that Peaches actually apologized to both Creepshow and Camila Cuevas, and if I had actually known that at the time of making my video, I would have mentioned it, especially the Camilla part of the video, which was really fucking long. And if I had known that, it would have been heavily trimmed, if not cut entirely, if I had known about them. And I will admit my point of view on the Camilla situation was pretty narrow because I mostly took my information from the document that Camilla herself released, and obviously that's one perspective. I didn't get Peaches part of it, so yeah. Overall, Peaches did not deserve to get cancelled as hard as she did, with so many channels just shitting on her, mostly pretty unfairly, and since my video got quite a bit of views and support, it really is only fair for me to make another video correcting myself, and I will definitely take the mistakes I made here and use them as guidelines for what not to do in the future, because after all, apologizing really doesn't mean anything unless you back it up with actions, which I will try to do from here on out. I never wanted to cancel her, that was never my intent, and I genuinely do want to see her get better and make a full return to the platform, because what happened was a really big overreaction on the part of the community, and I feel like that was not the best situation. So yeah, let's get into my thoughts on that.
Oh, come on, you're fine, get up!
Honestly, I never really thought about what section of the commentary community my channel fell under, even though it's kind of obvious I am part of the art commentary community, seeing as I cover art-related topics, and a majority of my videos have speed paints in the background, and my main shtick off-platform is posting and selling art. I obviously have to say that my channel does fall under this category, however, I never actually felt like a part of the community. And I don't know if I exactly want to be associated with it, considering, you know, the way some people act, but anyways, I just don't like putting myself in one category in terms of my content, but that's completely different to what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say that I do feel like this community does have faults, and I'll just kind of briefly go over that stuff here. I think that people in this community are way too quick to dogpile and just generally kind of go apeshit over issues that really don't need it, because honestly, the Peaches situation was, you know, quite obviously an example of this, as a lot of channels did go really fucking hard on her, and it was dragged out for like way longer than it needed to. Like Peaches herself said on Twitter, real issues like child groomers tend to be kind of fleeting instead of huge dramatized things, and I'm not saying it's good to dramatize someone else's trauma, but like I'm just saying that the reception is completely different to, you know, kind of petty stuff like this. Like the Peaches drama just felt so much more sensationalized than, like, you know, people who have actually committed crimes. And that's obviously not to say that the whole of the art commentary community doesn't care about things like that. Obviously not the case here, but it does feel kind of wrong that somebody being perceived as like a bad friend got weeks of attention and coverage, but people like Len Totally and Cosmodor weren't nearly covered as extensively. Yes, they are both talked about, and that's good, but, you know, it was obvious that the Peaches drama way overshadowed both of them, and I just feel like that was, you know, not great, because on one hand, we have Peaches, someone who's mentally ill and made some mistakes, and then we have people who have literally admitted to crimes, and I don't understand why one was just so much more sensationalized and dramatized and blown up than the other. It just feels really weird to me. And yes, a lot of big channels did talk about Len and Cosmo, and they did a good job on it, but the reception of both situations, like I said before, just felt wildly different to me. And I really just don't get why so many people found it appropriate to just completely shit on Peaches. And I know I might not have too much of a leg to stand on here, considering my pretty flawed video, but at least I can say that I wasn't making entire-ass Twitter accounts dedicated to harassing her, or just generally saying vile things to her or spamming her comment. Like, maybe I missed something, but I don't get how people can get so angry over situations like this. Some parts of it were kind of personal to me, like the whole friends talking behind the back or whatever, but that didn't make me want to, like, take out, you know, pitchforks and torches and, like, crucify her or anything. Like, I don't know, dude, why are you so mad over internet drama? It was portrayed in a much more negative light a few months ago, but really, she did not do anything heinous enough to warrant some of the comments that she got. If you ask me, I'm all for second chances, and if somebody hasn't, like, committed a crime or anything, I do feel it appropriate to give them a second shot at things, and it's not like I'm, you know, and, you know, it's not like my word is like the end-all be-all of drama. I'm just saying that this is my opinion, but I do feel like the complete no re-entry, one-way ticket treatment should be reserved for people who have, like, done things with kids or have been convicted of felonies or some shit, not petty drama like this, especially if it involves mental health problems, because throwing those in the mix can make situations a lot more volatile if handled incorrectly, and can do a lot more harm to the party involved. And although it is very flawed, and I don't really consider myself part of the community for some of the reasons that I shared above, I do like watching people in this community for the most part, but I can't say that I don't feel anxious sharing dissenting opinions sometimes, because while I might not want to associate with the community as a whole, my videos undoubtedly fall into that category, so I obviously do have a fan base of a lot of, you know, art commentator watchers. But yeah, sharing kind of opposing opinions is kind of part of my hesitation in making this video. However, being a commentator isn't pandering to what people want you to say, it's saying what you think, and knowing that is important. And even though sometimes your opinion will not be received well, it's worth it to, you know, get your thoughts out there. Just a bit of advice to anyone who wants to start commentary, I guess. Hopefully I could set the record a little straighter, and I am sorry to Peaches for my old terrible video. I'm going to do better in the future, and yeah, thank you for listening to me.
Let's go.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on today's topic, and I do want to make it clear that in my last video, I really was not trying to be malicious or purposefully disingenuous or anything like that. I was just really fucking stupid, and I didn't look into things properly, which I am going to do now, look into things properly. I will not be repeating the same mistakes in the future, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, or at least, you know, got something from it. Feel free to check out all my other videos if you want. They are not as bad as the one I'm apologizing for now. If you're interested in my opinions on other subjects, or if you want to see some of the art I make, including the art from the speed paints I put in the backgrounds of these videos, maybe, you know, buy art, I don't know. All my social medias are linked in the description down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.